I put my Robin Hood outfit on, put the hood on, put the mask on, off I go, shoot the arrow. And obviously I chat with Jay, a lot of guests, but this is the OG of my podcast. And with my soul sister and soul family here, this is Life Theories, episode 7272 equals 972, whatever you want to call it. I'm going mad, and apparently I'm at a reasonable hour, and everyone's feeling that how I get up at 6 in the morning. How are you, Diana?
I'm good. Yeah, Jay and I finally switched our times. Usually it's him getting up at 6 a.m. and I'm in the evening because he's in Australia and I'm in the US. But this time we did a little switcheroo, so now it's like 7 a.m. for me, and it's later at 9 p.m. for him.
9. We're watching. I'm actually, I've got my West Coast Eagles top. As you can see, that's my AFL football team for all you people over America and everywhere else. Australian rules football. This is my team. They're playing. It's been a big couple of weeks, hasn't it? Like a couple of months. I mean, I've changed. I've moved house. I've got my own space. I've got my own aura, and just getting into myself. My intuition's gone up. I was saying with myself, I've actually come to the conclusion. This is an interesting part of life where you have to accept who you are, and I finally can actually say that I am a spiritual teacher, motivational coach, and health and wellness expert, or life strategist. We'll go one or the other. It doesn't matter which one I use. And it's funny, when I spoke to JT Fox about it last year, when I was saying it, I said it, but I didn't resonate with it because I didn't believe it. But for some reason, about, I don't know, maybe 5 weeks ago, you start to resonate the words that you're in, and all the teachings that you do, and things are coming in really, really quick. So tell us about your life, Miss Space Cadet.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've come on here, and the last one, I know we did like a deep dive on a lot of what's being released now in the world, a lot of what's being exposed. So I mean, there is still a lot of that going on, and a lot. It appears that it's that's chaos. And it is chaos, but, I do believe that there is a divine order and everything. And, I think we're really being tested on if we're going to, stay on our path on these distractions. There's a lot of things that are being put out, I think, as distractions. And I think a lot of us are being tested on all different levels. I don't like to say we're always being tested, but in a way, we kind of are. It's because we're here to raise the frequency of the planet, right? So we have these old attachments to old timelines, old ways of being, right? I think a lot of us are seeing that the way we've been living isn't in alignment, or the way the world programmed us to live isn't. So a lot of it's just unprogramming yourself and reprogramming yourself, right? And a lot of it's through just being authentic and just living a healthier, better life. I think a lot of us are seeing what we've been taught is not the full truth, or there's a lot of deception. So it's a lot of us are seeking truth, but I think we also have to seek the truth within ourselves. What resonates with you. There's all this information out there. So it's what are we going to do with it? And what's the next step we can take to improve, and to get more into alignment with the life that we deserve and that we want to live. Because I think so many of us are just living way out of alignment, with our soul and with our purpose even, and I think a lot of these things are put out, designed to kind of keep you in that lower frequency, to keep you from going within, everything. They want you looking outside when it's really an inner journey, that's at least what I'm learning. And it can be tough because that's causing you to do a lot of shadow work and address old belief systems that have been holding you back, maybe trauma, heartbreak, all these lower vibrations, things that we've had to endure in our lifetime. It's a lot of it's just taking more of an objective look and, choosing something different. Which isn't easy when you've been doing things a certain way for a very long time. It's really easy to go into these old patterns or ways of being. So I think it's a big wake-up call for a lot of people. But I think this is part of the Great Awakening, because people need to see in the age of Aquarius, right? People need to see the truth, because the truth will set you free, right?
Yeah, I know. Look, at the end of the day, the first thing I know is when we're crossed over from the snake to the horse. That's number one. So you're jumping on the horse after you get rid of the snake. People, I know it's a universal law of a universal year of karma. So karma, good or bad, okay, and that's the way it is. Also, I've felt that people who are living in that higher echelon of esoteric living, however you want to put it, whether you're we'll call it I watch Chant, White Lighter, whatever you want to call it, Give Chosen One, whatever it may be, living in spirituality, are protected in a lot of ways. And also, I see that we are being delivered one way or the other. So if you are living in your heart chakra and you've done all that hard work, which we have for the last 5 years, you will be delivered that good karma, I think. And I know a lot of people are living in their ego, but the way I see it is people are living their true selves at the time, and also they're invoking their karma. Now, I just see a lot of people's attitudes change, the energies change, the auras change. It's amazing how it's all going. Personally, for me, I'm getting really into. I feel that I've ascended a lot and getting in touch with myself for who I am. And I've always been that spiritual person that believes in the universe, believes in the messages, believes that the source is connected. You are the source and you're getting connected and guided. The big thing for me is messages. Now, they're talking to me through things that open my mind. For example, Green Arrow. I watched the Arrow, right? Stephen Amell, right? That one. Now, it's real. I'll put it to your context. So you're at a certain level when you watch something, and then you're at another certain level when you watch it again. And the different messages you get, and classic example is the shift from Wayne Dyer. You can watch it at different consciousness and get something from it every single time. I end up getting a guidance, and this is just, I think, a way that I've got to this point in my life, which is basically learning that the story of the Arrow was teaching me lessons that I need to learn personally. The characteristics that he had, and developing is a characteristic that I am. So you got that teacher through what it is. So, for example, could be a TV show or music or something like that that's giving you the message. So, first 4 or 5 seasons of Arrow, you're looking at the way he was brought up. You're looking at that 5 years in purgatory. And then you look at the way you were brought up, and it's so hard. You had that big struggle. It wasn't as painful, but mental pain is just, shit, let's be honest. And then you come to a point where you've come to a conclusion of some of the basic spiritual laws, like selective indifference, for example, just not having a real emotional reaction to something. You make a reaction to it, but not an emotional reaction. Okay? Looking at the universal law of flow. Let it happen. Walking through. Watch it looking wide. Those kind of things. Also getting answers to things that you are saying, hang on, why does this keep coming at me? But then you have to be at a level to get that answer. So there's a lot of stuff esoterically that I'm picking up as well. Obviously, I've moved into a lot of the stuff that I like. I've got this motley crew. Yep, boys, love ya. Everything I've asked for in a band I've got. So there's a lot of, if you go through life and look at the stuff that is coming out at the moment, you'll find that you are getting a lot more than what you are, because we are channeled to say, right, we need money, we need this, we need that, we need to be fucking rock stars, we need to be bloody friggin' here, we need to be in front of people. I go to the point of people, being in front of a crowd is a bloody drug, all that kind of shit. But we have to look in within and say what we have and be really grateful. We've heard it all, but are we actually living it?
Yep.
There you go. If you have any questions, please send it to me on whitewarriorhealth@gmail.com or comment below. There you go. It's pretty deep. That's the amount of work I've been doing. That's the amount of work. And my mentor has given me this. Anyone seen this? The Melchizedek. Very interesting. I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, it's the next level of. I would say you do your Reiki level 3 master, which I am.
Oh, you have to do. Okay, I'm not there yet.
And then you move into this stuff, which is the advanced. So if you go through, you finish up high school, then you go into you've done your Reiki 3, which is your uni degree, then you go into your PhD, which is this. I'll tell you all about it when I read it. But I mean, my mentor saying you have to read it. I go, yeah, I know when to read it. I've always believed that you're always guided when you need to do things, and then a message will come, and you always it's just weird that you watch things for so long and you have messages coming at you, and then you wonder why they are, and you say, oh, I know that, but you don't really know. And when you do get the right answer, you feel the vibration that it was wrong and this is right. I've rambled. I
think it's like a spiral. I think you kind of understand. I think you come back to deeper truths at different levels. Like maybe a year ago you saw the same information or the message, but maybe didn't connect, like something kind of connected, but not really. But then sometimes you come back to it, it comes back to you, like it all comes full circle, and then you understand it from like a deeper truth or something. It's kind of weird. It's hard to explain, but it becomes like synchronistic.
Well, I'll explain it for you. Old self versus new self. I had a chance last night. Okay, there was something that happened, and it could have triggered the old self. There was an opportunity for me to go back into my old self and understand where I went, and understand who I was and what I was doing. And I think the big thing is, I had that opportunity. I did feel it for about a second, and then I just prospectively changed the choice of how I feel. And yes, it was uncomfortable in the new self, but I did it and I changed perspective. It was much better.
And that's a big sign of growth when you can look at something that maybe really triggered you before and you don't have the same reaction. Either it's neutral, or maybe for me, when I'm learning, is to get more like curious about it. Instead of me getting triggered and judging myself, I'm asking, why am I feeling this way? Like, why is this coming up for me? And that's kind of part of the shadow work too. Like, you're facing like what's underneath all that. Maybe you didn't even like vocally react or show a sign of reaction, but maybe inside it gives you that little,
Well, this is the thing.
It might still give you something.
This is exactly right. No, but when you go into a situation that you were in before, and you damn well know it, because you've gone up a level where you can actually feel your half yourself, your old self to your old new self, and go, I'm okay. It's like, I won't touch that hot water again. Okay, touch the hot water, when hot, it went hot, it burnt me. I won't do it again. But then there's that then you go into the emotional stuff, right? Like, they talk about human connection, food, all that kind of crap that makes you feel good. All right, all those old feelings, those old subconscious feelings that you've gone, that feels like absolute shit. I don't want to do that again. But I don't want to take that step and trust that this will come out. Just trying to get a real wording of it. You're basically going into your old self and saying, I'm not going to do it, and do the opposite.
I know all about that. I can tell you about that.
But it's friggin' hard work. I tell you, people go, oh, it's easy. I go, no, it's damn well not. No, it's damn well not.
That's a big step when you're there, and just being aware. The first step is being aware of the pattern in general. But then when you can actually look at it dead in the face and have a different response or reaction, or choose a healthier habit, like that's when I was dealing with like addictions and stuff. That was a big sign of the growth, when instead of going to that, whatever the addiction is, there's so many addictions we all deal with, just because someone isn't doing drugs or alcohol doesn't mean there's so many other things that are like,
what about
like drama, food, like, I mean, I could go down the list, like, and people don't understand, like, it's like a habit, it's a behavior, it's a pattern, it's a thought, feeling, and like action, it's like, so you have to put like a wrench in that, and you have to kind of shift it another way. For me, it's just channeling, the energy's there for me. It hasn't gone away, that old Diana, that old whatever addict, whatever word you want to use.
Your reaction to what it is, you get a reaction.
But I have different response. Yeah, we're just responding from a higher frequency. It's like a higher, more aware. Like, I'm choosing this. Okay, yeah.
You got your little self, your little shadow there, whatever it is, and then you've got your your true self, which is now, and then you're really coaching each other, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And look, I'm very proud of my big victory last night. It was very good. It was very, very good. Just thinking off the top of my head, another way it happened. Yeah. So if you actually, the way I want to describe it is, you will feel that once you get into your heart and you feel that old self, you feel that person that you were, that little boy, that little girl, that hurt person, and you actually stand up straight and you just go, nah, stuff this shit. It's going to be crap because no one wants to do it. But when you do it, you do feel better.
Uncomfortable. You might even feel a little bit pulled because you were that way for so long. But The fact
Yes.
that you can choose something different, I don't give a shit if it's just a slightly better choice. And you have to give yourself credit and reinforce that within you, like positive reinforcement. Like give yourself credit, pay attention when you go, wow, I just did that. Like celebrate. You have to kind of give like your brain like a reward chemical. I know I kind of go
It's
back.
not even a reward. I don't even think it's a reward chemical. I just basically go and say, stuff this shit. I don't want to feel like that anymore.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
and and look, if it doesn't go, look, okay, let's make a classic example of self-esteem not feeling good enough. Okay, you got a friend of yours. You're the good friend. You're the people pleaser, which I was, which is a load of shit. And then someone's gone and come up. All right, someone's come with a bit of money. All right, buying off someone. So you got your friend's gone to your mate, gone to this other bloke's got lots of money. Do you trust that he'll give him the flick and come back to you because you're an honest person instead of just going trying to buy people with money? You just go, and then what you would go, oh well, you know what? I've got integrity. I've done what I've done. I don't need I believe that he'll come to me, but if he doesn't, I can always piss him off. You know what I mean? If he does take the money, that shows what kind of person he is. You just got to be able to trust and be able to take that hurt. It's simple as that. And, you could say that with relationships, men and women relationships, all those kind of things. And I think that's where we have a major issue in life and we all do it, I've done it, where, you're afraid of getting hurt, putting your heart on the line in any way. But then, you could take your heart and do it for yourself. And once you love yourself more, you can actually take that jump a lot better.
And I think we also have to be accepting of like, I think what I'm really learning and what everyone has to learn is like, I can't control how that person is going to act. No matter how much I've changed, even if I've elevated, like we have no control over how someone else is going to think, feel, or act or respond to us. So like, you just have to kind of stay in integrity with being on your path and just staying authentic and true to yourself, taking the higher road, even sometimes, even if other people aren't going to change and, or aren't, they might even upset you a little bit. You just have to kind of just be okay and just set the necessary boundaries as needed, and just stay on your path, stay on what you're doing. It can be easy to get sucked back into like old dynamics where you're feeling maybe not so good or maybe unworthy, like you said. It's just like, or just like that person's never going to change. And that just, some people aren't going to change, but we've changed. And that's what's important, and you just have to keep on that path.
Absolutely. I think that the constant work is very lonely and when you go into silence, you're very lonely with a lot of things. And I think you get away, you love to be a part of the pack, but I think you have to be away and regenerate a lot and understand your communication style and who you actually connect with as well. I think that's a really, really big thing. And if you don't connect with the person, there's really no way of going around, but it's how you react and go, okay, I don't really want to do much with this person anymore because we're over it. But
raising your frequency, yeah. So like people fall out of
yeah.
alignment, and it's very clear when you start to do this inner work, shadow work, whatever, healing, whatever you want to say, and raising your frequency. It becomes very obvious to people that aren't, and it's not an egoic way, like, oh, I'm better than this person, I'm evolving, and they're not. It's not that. Just people are
coming
at
straight.
different levels
Okay,
of consciousness.
I'll go it this way. Stuff this shit. I don't want to hang around bloody dickheads like that because they're lower for frequency. They might be a friend and they've got lower frequency. I don't wish anything bad on them, but why the hell would I go and worry about bloody going down to that level? Once I have awareness, do I want to go down to that bloody level again? No, I don't.
You don't want to go back. Yeah, you've already gone past it, so it's like it's gonna feel real weird when you go past. I had that happen too when I was first, recovering from addiction and stuff. When I tried to return to old people or environments or whatever that maybe were still in that lifestyle, or maybe just not even that, just not trying to grow. Like it felt uncomfortable, it almost felt like out of place. That's a great thing. Also, even though it can feel lonely, it can feel kind of weird, but it's like that shows that you've grown. And the more you can continue to do that, you'll start to attract better situations and people because you'll be at a different frequency. But you have to understand you existed at a certain level for a long time. So you're kind of like you go through that weird like transition period where it's like kind of like your old world and your new world because you're not like fully in the new world because you've started to take steps, but maybe it's not fully manifesting your reality because you were that old version and that was your energy for so long. So like there's definitely a transition, like a shift period. You have to just stay stay consistent through the shift. You have to just keep
Maybe
going.
have support. I think, as I
Yeah.
said, our soul family, you, me, we'll be stuck together
Because of
forever.
the support
We had the original, the OGs of this group,
Yeah.
and then you had
Go look at our old episodes, guys. If you ever want to check it out, if you go back to episode 1, you'll see how much we've changed. I mean, I was at, I think, my parents' house at the time. I was maybe fresh out of rehab or whatever, or going through.
And God, no, yeah. And I used to
just going
swear
through
like an
stuff.
absolute bloody. I used to swear
Yeah.
like a trooper just because I could, and it was because I understood anger, and it was just anger and frustration. I could swear and tell everyone to get stuffed now, and I just sit there and laugh about it. But look at the mannerisms. Look at
we
how
look
much work.
different.
Yep.
And even the things we talked about and we cared about. I'm not saying they weren't relevant or weren't valid, but they were very different. The quote unquote problems or things we were working through than we are now. It's definitely, you can see like the shift, and you can watch. I mean, go watch any of the episodes. I mean, really, but if you really want to go back, have a throwback, look at, and it just shows all the growth we've had.